Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. And we'll wait a moment or two here. You know me, I like to say hello. And good morning, Rosa, your first one up this morning. Rosalinda, Niagara Falls, good morning to you. Karen, good morning. And nice to have you guys on this morning. Mike from Wawa, and Jordan, our dear friend from Tennessee, and Denise, good morning to you. Carrie, Nebraska. We love Nebraska. Nativity, Rita, and Stacy. Good morning. Wendy, our dear friend from Markham. Donna, good morning, Donna. And Laura, nice to have you on this morning. Jerry, Nouveau Brunswick, Claudie, and Ruth, and Charlotte, and Ita, good morning. Nick from our staff. Are you tired of me yet, Nick? Brenda, Vancouver Island, good morning to you, Brenda. Shirley, from the other end of the world, Newfoundland, good morning, coast to coast. And we are so happy to have you on. Nicole, Oxford, Quebec. Sherry, Morris, friend from North Bay. Zian, bonjour. Good to have you on, Di. Maria, Andrea, from Nouveau Brunswick. And Francine, Nakina. Good morning, Francine. Sharon, and Anne, and Fran from Tilsonburg. Linda, good morning. We love you guys, okay? Deb from Timmins, good morning. Nellie and Lorraine, okay. Diane, you guys are great. Thunder Bay, Donna. Hey guys, you guys are great. Okay, Bonnie, good morning, and you're the last one. Here we go. Protein is king. Okay? Protein is king. I remember in one of my books that I wrote years ago that I had the head of one of the chapters is protein is king. The king of the castle is protein. And let's think about that for a minute, because this morning I really want to leave you with some teaching on two things. I want to talk to you about how to drive up your cholesterol, HDL, and how to lower your triglycerides. And the reason I'm doing this is because there was a study that came out of India, okay? India, that shows that their diet is very, very low in protein. The average, and this is what it says, in India, the average intake of protein a day is around 30 grams. Guys, you need to triple that. Minimum 200-300 grams of protein, because protein is king. Protein is the king of the castle when it comes to nutrition, because, okay, let's break this down just for a second so you understand what I'm saying. When you eat carbohydrates, okay, bread, pasta, rice, bread has some protein in it, but generally today's food, bread, pasta, rice, cereals, sugar, sweets, pastries, milk, it's almost all carbohydrate. When you eat or drink a carbohydrate, okay, insulin comes out of your pancreas, and you are going to store, if you don't use sugar right away, okay? If you don't use sugar right away as energy, it's a bad fuel because now it's going to be stored as fat in your body. Insulin will take sugar and store it. And it doesn't store it like it stores protein. You know, someone said to me, I can't remember, it might have been last week, that, oh, doc, you need insulin for protein. Yes, you do. You do. But you don't need, well, first of all, you don't need a lot of it. And second of all, what insulin does with protein is different than what it does with carbohydrates. Because there is some glucose. Your body, if it needs glucose, will take steak and make some glucose, okay? Your body is very intelligent and very smart, fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body will take steak, and if you need a little bit of glucose from that, your body will make it from steak. But when insulin takes, let's follow a piece of steak, okay? Insulin, you need insulin. Insulin is a food hormone. Insulin is a food hormone, okay? And when you eat a steak, for example, you need some insulin because insulin's job, remember, it is the cop at the, at the traffic lights that are not working. You know, it's a cop because it will direct traffic. And it says, okay, protein, come with me. You're going inside the cells. You see, what insulin does with protein, if it needs a little bit of glucose, you've got energy from that. But the biggest thing in protein, guys, is the amino acids. And insulin takes that steak and drives those amino acids inside your cells. Amino acids are the building blocks of your body. Nothing happens in your body, nothing good happens in your body without amino acids. I tell people, listen, when you live on carbohydrates, it's such a bad fuel because you're not getting those amino acids. And listen, as we talked about yesterday, there's really three kingdoms of food. There used to be two. If you go back, 100 years, there was two kingdoms of food. One, the animal kingdom. Eggs, meat, and cheese. The plant kingdom, fruits and vegetables. But today there's a whole man-made foods, the human kingdom. You know, humans do wonderful things. I mean, the innovation of a human being is incredible. It is. But they do bad things too. And that's one of the things is when they take food and they manipulate it. You know, somebody was asking me again the other day about, they manipulate corn and manipulate, the plants. And what do I think about that? Well, I said, we really don't know. The long-term studies on that are, I don't know, okay? Probably end up not being near as good as what God does, okay? But, guys, the humans and human ingenuity is wonderful, but when they take, for example, the first fast food was bread. Why? Why was it a fast food? Because you used to take, wheat and with stone grinding. And what it did is you still had that wheat germ in there. You had all the nutrients, you had all the amino acids that wheat could give you, and a lot of B vitamins and whatever. But what they did, they went to the roller pressing of the wheat, and then it took away all the nutrients. So even in the 1890s or whatever, you had a fast food. Because man said, we got to produce this. We got to produce bread rapidly and, store-bought bread. Don't touch it with a 100-foot pole. It is devoid of nutrient. That's why you have enriched bread. Because by the 1930s, they were putting all the vitamins back. And vitamins that your body couldn't even absorb. But you see what man does? And then man took oil. They wanted to get rid of lard and butter. And they realized that with seed oils, cottonseed oil, Procter and Gamble figured out, oh man, we can make, we can make store-bought, Crisco. And Crisco, you can bake with it, you can cook with it, and it's polyunsaturated. It's not a saturated fat like butter. And it must be good. No, it wasn't good. And you see, that's man-made. And we realized that drove up omega-6. And the ratio between omega, see, that's what man does to food. Right? And, we have margarine. Oh, that must be better than butter. Nah, put margarine outside and see if bugs will buzz around margarine or butter. Bugs are smarter than human beings are. They will go after butter, but if you open up a lid of margarine, the fly goes, that ain't food. There's nothing in there for me. They won't go near it. When man tells you, well, it looks like butter. Yeah, but bugs are smarter than we are. Like bugs go, I'm not eating that. But we ate it. It's low in cholesterol. See, that's man-made. The man-made foods. We changed the sugar. See, when man takes things, and sometimes they do some wonderful things, but when they took sugar from the sugar cane, and they said, why don't we make something that's a lot cheaper than that? And man in a laboratory made high fructose corn syrup. So he changed the flour, we changed the oils, we changed the sugars. And you know what? Here's another thing that man did. Man said, you know what? What can we do to milk to make it less fat? So what did they do? They changed milk. Now, you go to the grocery store and you see milk and you go, I wouldn't touch that. That's white Pepsi. White Pepsi. Man thinks they're smarter than nature, than God. And when they do that, and like I said, they can put a man on the moon, but they can make you very sick with all these human So you have the animal kingdom, you have the plant kingdom, and I always tell people, live in those two. For 1 month, I want you to live in the one. I want you to cut out all your oxalates. I want you to cut out all your lectin. I want you to cut out all your gluten. I want all that out of your body. I want to give your body a reset. But when you come over to eggs, meat, and cheese, it's exactly the way you should eat. And why is that? Because it's all your essential amino acids are here. And when you have that perfect food in eggs, meat, and cheese, your pancreas, which is releasing two things. I don't talk about the second one very much. But when you eat eggs, meat, and cheese, insulin is taking those amino acids and driving them inside your cells where they belong. That's how your body regenerates. That's how your body is healed, when you get all those amino acids driven inside cells where they belong. So the pancreas, and when you're eating eggs, meat, and cheese, you have insulin, very little. You don't need a lot, but it is driving the right fuel inside your cells. And then you have what a hormone called glucagon. Okay? Glucagon. There's no E at the end, but glucagon is, you never think of it, but when you're eating eggs, meat, and cheese, you have a perfect balance between insulin, okay? Insulin and glucagon. And glucagon will take glucose and lower it. Your body knows how to stabilize your blood sugar. When you're eating the right food, and you know what insulin resistance is. And part of that is you get glucagon resistance when you're eating crappy carbohydrates. When you're eating, especially from the man's kingdom of foods. And I often tell my indigenous people, my First Nations friends, I tell them, the white man want to destroy your health, okay? Because we developed the man-made kingdom, and the way we wipe you out is we turn you guys into diabetics in an awful hurry. That's the biggest problem to the First Nations people, the indigenous people. Even in the north, the Inuit, they don't know what heart disease is. They eat fat and protein. That's their diet. Fat, and protein. And only when we introduce them to humans, man-made food, that third kingdom, they get sick. The indigenous people, they have, it's like the Indian population in India. They're very susceptible to diabetes. They have a weakness towards diabetes. I used to do a fair amount of work with the Middle East and Egyptians, and they're really, I think 50% of their population or more are diabetic. Of course, we're getting there too, aren't we? But they have a weakness. And when you have a weakness like that, my name is Tony and I'm a carboholic. Like, you just got to figure that out and say, okay. So what is king? Protein is king. And in nature, protein is perfectly mixed. In the animal kingdom, it's perfectly mixed. Protein is perfectly mixed with fat. Eggs. You see the fat in the yolk? You see the fat? Not the egg whites. When I go to the grocery store and I see egg whites, I want to scream. Because it's crazy. That's man-made. You can take, not that egg whites are bad because it's protein. But God put it in an egg so that you have the perfect balance of fat, because that's where all the vitamins are, guys. All your B vitamins, your choline, and all those leucine, and all these perfect amino acids are when you eat the egg the way it was supposed to be eaten. It's the way it is in nature. Protein, fat. Guys, that's where all your vitamins are. Okay? That's why I tell you, look, the plant kingdom is good. It's good for you. I'm not against vegetables. Fruit is God's candy, so be careful. But I'm not against it. Thing is, you don't have all the amino acids, plus you don't have any cholesterol in that. You are responsible for 15%. And if you insist on eating plants, you're not going to get it. And your body needs it. Okay? So you understand that now. The teaching of the three kingdoms. Animal, perfect balance of protein and fat. Perfect balance. It's exactly the way it should be. You have the plant kingdom. You get some vitamins in that. No cholesterol, but still good. Fruits, okay? Easy does it. We live in a different world. I tell people, I caution people all the time about fruits. They're God's candies. Don't live on that. Don't get up in the morning and have fruit for breakfast. We live in a different world today. Okay? And we do. And Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie, you can put some berries in it, unless you're on the reset. For 30 days, I want you to stick to the animal kingdom. I don't apologize for that. Your body will thank you. You're going to do something to your body. It's the perfect detox. The perfect detox is right here in the animal kingdom. Okay? Then you have the plants, and then you have the human kingdom. Man-made foods. In the middle aisles of your grocery store, just about exclusively, you will find your man-made foods. Okay? Because man switches things around. Okay. Now let me get to, what do you do? What do you do to elevate your cholesterol, your HDL, okay, because that's what I'm interested in, and that's what you should be interested in. You want to be getting your cholesterol high. And the way to look at blood work is to look at your look at your HDL. Those are your FedEx trucks on the highways of your blood vessels. They are so important for you. Okay? How do you get HDL up? Let's start with that. Protein, fat. The way you should be eating from the animal kingdom. When you see a piece of steak, go for the fat one. Don't get lean meat. When you eat a piece of chicken, make sure you eat the skin. And you're not going to elevate your HDL with chicken McNuggets, okay? You won't. That's man-made, by the way. It's what they cook it in. Okay? Now, number 2, 1, animal kingdom, eggs, meat, and cheese will elevate your HDL. Okay? Now, what else do you want to do to elevate your HDL? Okay? You want to, if your HDL is real low, then this is where you might have to supplement, okay? You know, omega-3 DHA, okay? And again, I'm very specific when it comes to HDL, because I tell people when I look at their blood work, your HDL is very low. Change your diet, do the reset. You got that? Do the reset. It'll drive your triglycerides downwards and elevate your HDL. And sometimes I got to tell people, look, your HDL is so low, you better get some DHA. And that's been proven, guys. DHA, which is the long-chain fatty acid. When you look at omega-3, when you go, if you're in Costco or whatever, you want to look at their omega-3, see how much DHA is in it. That's the key, guys. I love fish oil, okay? I have fish every day in a capsule. But for your brain, for your heart, for your joints, for your HDL, you need high DHA. That'll drive up. It helps to drive up your good cholesterol. You know what else does that? Vitamin E. Vitamin E. Exercise, not the other vitamin E. Exercise actually helps your HDL. Did you know that? Yeah, it does. Especially, and you know me, resistant exercises, weight, strong. Okay? Like, go for a walk, move, do everything you can. That's, all of it is good, but some of it is better specifically for your HDL. It's weight-resistant exercise, either bands or actual weights. Really makes a difference there, guys. Okay? You know what else helps your HDL? Vitamin D. Is there anything that vitamin D doesn't do? Viderma. Oh, it's so good for you. Especially when it's combined with K2. K2. How do you get K2 in food, guys? How do you get vitamin K2? I'm listening. Eggs, meat, and cheese, especially in the dairy butter. Okay? and cheese. Don't ditch dairy. Switch dairy. Don't ditch it. You need dairy. Okay? People that tell you they're vegans and we don't have dairy, well, I feel sorry for them because they've been misinformed. I'm being polite. They're misinformed. They've been duped. You need vitamin K2. And by the way, vitamin D in food is found in the animal kingdom. Now, you can't just live on that, although Eskimos do, are the Inuit. They don't get a lot of sun, but they eat so much. Omega-3 and vitamin D in their animal kingdom. Consuming that. Guys, it's one of the reasons that, oh man, the world is crazy in a lot of ways. The way it pumps out misinformation just drives me. I'm sure it drives you too, you know? But vitamin D, you see, again, it will elevate your HDL. When you get Viderma, you go out in the sun. It's so good for you. And make sure you're getting vitamin K2. Okay? Put butter on your steak. Okay? Cook it in butter. And eat cheese. You like cheese? You know, some people, and I understand that. I think there was a lady online yesterday or whatever saying, well, Doc, how can I do the reset? I don't do well with dairy. And, you know, maybe, I don't know. I'd have to analyze it. Because a lot of people, they don't realize they do all right with cheese. They just don't do all right with other dairy. Like they can have butter and they can have cheese, but they mix up all dairy together and they, you know, milk. And don't have milk. I don't want you to have milk. Not today's milk. But you got to find that out. And if you don't digest eggs, don't eat eggs if you can't digest them. You know, it bothers me when people, they go, oh, I'm drinking milk, but it's lactose free. Oh, that's man-made stuff, guys. You know, it's still full of sugar. It's not meant to be had like that. I'm not big on drinking milk, by the way, unless you have a cow in the backyard. Nah. Drink water and coffee. The real vitamin C. Okay. So, how do you elevate your HDL? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Eat your cholesterol. Eat your 15%. Make sure. 2, high DHA. 3, vitamin E, exercise. 4, vitamin D with K2. Eat it. And you will do the reset. You'll help. Now, how do I lower my triglycerides? Well, triglycerides, remember, are 3 fat balls. Triglycerides. They're made by the body when you're look, everybody makes some triglycerides, but they only get high when you're a bad eater. When you're a bad eater, you fill up that liver, the parking lot, the Costco parking lot with fat. And when the body's no more room, it will make triglycerides and it sends it into your bloodstream. Now, guys, that's what happens. So what is the answer to triglycerides? Food. Change your fuel. And your triglycerides will come down. The reset will Get your triglycerides down. Hammer them down. They are dangerous. They're on the highways and byways of your blood vessels and dangerous. Triglycerides are dangerous for your heart and stroke, dangerous for your brain. You don't want high triglycerides, guys. You just don't. And we, in medicine, have completely lost our minds. And we've lost our minds because we don't even look at. You can hardly get a doctor to look at your triglycerides. They take it, but they're not looking. Oh, look at your total cholesterol. It's bad. Here's a statin. Ooh, we've lost our collective minds, guys. That's not how your body works. Your body doesn't work like that. You need to have low triglycerides and high HDL. It's a teeter-totter. Get your triglycerides down and HDL up, and your body, that's how your body operates. Well, okay. Protein is king. Protein. How many eggs can I eat? 100? Yeah. How much steak can I eat? As much as you want. When you're not hungry, stop eating. It's amazing when you eat the right fuel, because of this balance between insulin and glucagon, and your leptin works well to tell you that you're full. Your body is smart when you feed it right. It's amazing. The homeostasis that you get, big word for balance. Your body knows. Your body knows. Feed it right. Okay. Tomorrow is question and answer Friday. Can I answer your questions tomorrow? It really is one of our most popular podcasts and Facebooks is the question and answer Friday. People love it. So do I, by the way. I like it. It gives me a chance to pontificate as if I don't anyways. But Fridays are great, right? And we thank you. So send in your questions. Don't be shy. I won't bite. Ask the question. And we'll try and answer it. Now, sometimes you ask questions that are, nobody in the universe gets that problem except maybe one person. And, I won't spend an hour on it. But don't be shy. I try and answer all the questions, okay? So that's tomorrow, question and answer Friday. And we appreciate you guys. If you don't get our emails, we put out an email this morning. Do you get that? If you don't get that in your email, then you make sure you sign up at martinclinic.com to make sure you get our emails, okay? Because a lot of the stuff that I do on teaching, you'll actually have it in an email form that you can keep or whatever, okay? And our private Facebook group, of course, is always open to membership. Come on in, join the group, join our wonderful friends and family in the private Facebook group, okay? And then, there's a lot of interaction there that we really appreciate. And I think you will too if you're not a member there, okay? So sign up on Facebook. Okay, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.